Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Last time around we had Emissary of Darkness, where Ed met up with Hohenheim and he told him the whole thing, and they're going to fight alongside each other on the promised day. However, Ed, Greed, and the two Chimeras were attacked by Pride, and Gluttony actually. Ling took over his body again because he can sense a homunculus, and they were trying to fight as best they could, and that's when Lanfan showed up, actually, and now she's here to help, and she also has a cool automail arm now. So, yeah, that was pretty much that. So, like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Here we go. Alright. Well, that's exactly what he did. Just not sure why. I don't know. He obviously has a point, but it's got to be less of just using her as a hostage and more of just and more of just getting some sort of information. I don't know. I do not know. Alright. Well, Fu's back. And Lanfan. Fu and Lanfan are back. I like that. I love those three. Well, the two of them and Ling. So, nice to have all of them back. It's interesting how they make note that it hasn't been 7 months since Lanfan got her new automail arm. So that means it does take, that gives us basically gives us more of the science of, you know, how this stuff works, and it takes 7 months to fully, I guess, adhere to a body, or for a body to get used to it, and she's pushing herself basically. I mean, she hasn't completed her first 7 months, and she's fighting a homunculus, you know, so that's impressive, and it's giving her a little trouble, but she also has some other stuff, which is cool. So that was really interesting. We got the information on Salim that Salim has been around for many years, or at least, well, obviously, because we know that Pride is the first. We know that Pride is the first homunculus that Father created, and also gave him his original form. But yeah, it's interesting to think about that. Yeah, he has to have a container. So clearly he's been Salim for a very long time, you know? So that's really interesting. But yeah, so they found out that through Madame Christmas. So, okay, so it was specifically, I guess I can go back and look, maybe try to turn on the subs. I haven't been using subtitles for the longest time because they're kind of screwed up on these episodes. Shit. It's so fucking... It's like 2 pixels high in order to click on this, you know? Of course, I say that the subtitles have been screwing up on Full Metal, but they seem to be fine on this episode.
Chris Mustang. She's his foster mother.
Okay, yeah. Chris Mustang. That's interesting. So, I mean, that I love how, like, it puts a little more intrigue onto Roy, which is good because I've missed Roy so much, you know? I'm ready for Roy to kick somebody's ass again, you know? But yeah, so Chris Mustang, his foster mother, which is interesting. So yeah, I mean, that, I feel like that just brings into question just so many people. It's like, okay, so why does he have a foster mother? What happened to his parents, you know? Like, unless they said, but I don't think they did. So what happened to that, you know? But I love that just explains how Roy is that good at, like, everything he does. It's like, yeah, he's that good at everything he does because he was taught by his mother, his foster mother, Madame Christmas, or Chris Mustang. Which I love that because, yeah, it's like the only reference to Christmas in this, and this is a sort of, this isn't like an alternative history thing, but it's very clear, like, okay, yes, it is very similar to our world, and I think it's like 1914, it's somewhere around the early 1900s in this world. We've seen that before, but the entire world is different. You've got Amestris and Drachma, you've got Shing and Ishval and stuff. So it's not, a one-for-one our world, but it's very similar, It is very similar. But yeah, I love that because Madame Christmas, that's always been an interesting thing. It's like, oh, so is there an actual Christmas in this world? What does that look like? And it's like, well, no. It's that, she came up with that name, Christmas, based off of her actual name, Chris Mustang, which is interesting. So, yeah. So that was pretty interesting. I do really like that. I mean, it also does, though, it emphasizes how weird the name Mustang is, Because, like, Roy Mustang, that's such a cool name. But when you hear it somewhere else, it's like, oh, Christmas. Chris Mustang. It's like, well, that's a hell of a last name when you really stop and think about it, It works for Roy, but, But yeah, but that was interesting. I like that, and I love immediately when they try to go in, they just explode. That they rigged that place to blow. So yeah, that was funny. And then they went their separate ways. But I like that, with all this, it's like it's not a thing of like, you're getting into so much trouble, even though, what he's doing is good. It's like, you're messing up my shop, you're messing with my life or something. It's not like that. It's like, well, guess I'm going to go lay low for a little while and, chill out and let you do your thing, So I like that. And I like the whole thing of like, oh, you better remember me when you're Mr. Big Shot now. So that was good. I like that. And then, yeah, the Oath in the Tunnel, which was Roy, Riza, and the other two. Fuck, I don't remember their names. Unfortunately. If I saw their names, I would remember, obviously, but yeah, I can't remember their names off the top of my head. So yeah, but I like that it's like, look, we're about to go to war, and this mission is going to take a while, And I like how they emphasize that it's not just that they're going to, topple the current government and destroy the homunculi and everything. It's that the mission continues because they have to rebuild the country, This doesn't just end when the war is over. And it's not like, the world is now safe or anything. It's that the mission truly ends when this country has been saved, When this country has been rebuilt under Fuhrer Mustang. And that's the thing, I like the difference between, I mean, at this point, it would be Roy and Grumman, where Grumman's just like, fuck everybody, I'm going to be Fuhrer, and because I deserve to be Fuhrer, because I'm old and a shitbag and stuff, and it's like, okay, whatever. But then you get Roy, I like that, yeah, even though for the longest time we've had his plan that he would become the Fuhrer, but his plan was never, like, it wasn't out of, like, self-ambition, really. Like, it wasn't out of selfishness or, because he was power-hungry. He wants to be Fuhrer to genuinely help the country, He's the kind of... It'd be like a candidate that you see in, like, an election where it's like, this guy's a really, really good guy. He gets shit votes, He gets shit votes, but he's a really, really good guy, That said, though, Roy is a fighter, and Roy probably would get pretty good votes, I guess the comparison I was making, you could almost say, if any of you watch House of the Dragon, is very much a Viserys type, but it really isn't that, and I can't really come up with a House of the Dragon reference for who Roy really is, but Roy, he's tough, he is a warrior, he can put up a fight and everything, but he genuinely feels for the country, and he genuinely wants to help it, and root out the traitors, So I like that. I really, really like that. And then, yeah, we got the flash grenades finally doing some actual damage to Pride, which was good. And yeah, just too much light, it hurts him, which is interesting. So yeah. But then he absorbed gluttony, which I gotta wonder if that might just be the end of gluttony as we know it, you know? Could be. Could be. I could see that being the end, but yeah. He took gluttony for his senses, little bastard. I mean, that's the thing, you know, and especially with the Bradleys. The two of them, they're very threatening. They're very, very threatening. They're not really the Saturday morning cartoon villains that some of the other homunculi have been. But fucking, I just want them to get their fucking faces caved in, you know? It's one of those, like, fuck these arrogant fucking douchebags. Like, I just want them to fuck him up so badly, you know? And that's the thing, it's like, because we have that entire group, plus the fact that Pride is looking over, it's like, now I know where you are, Hohenheim. It's like, well, Hohenheim, come and fuck this kid up, you know? And part of that is also that I never liked Celine Bradley to begin with, but I was just like, I just want this kid to get fucking curb stomped, you know? It's the same thing for the Fuhrer. It's like, yes, he is threatening, he's a great villain, fuck this guy, just want him to fucking... It's the character where it's like, you love watching him, but at the same time, it's like, I just want you to die already, you know? I can't think of, like, a comparison, you know? Because a lot of times, like, I'll see a villain, and they're just so fucking fun to watch, you know? But I will say, like, you know what? The closest I would say for Wrath is Azula, actually, from Avatar The Last Airbender, because it was pretty much like anytime Azula showed up in an episode, shit was fucked, you know? Like, you know that everything has gone wrong when Azula shows up and it's like, oh shit, I don't know how the hell we get out of this. Even if you do, it's terrible, you know? It's terrible. Whenever she shows up, then shit's about to go down, you know? And that is close. And it's the same thing of like, yes, I do enjoy Wrath, and I did enjoy watching Azula back in the day, back all those years ago when Avatar first came out. Jesus. But yeah, but it's I like Wrath, but it's just one of those like fucking, which I didn't really want for Azula. Azula, I could take like every episode and be like, fuck yes, give me more of my friggin', you know, fucking evil girl, you know? But fucking Wrath, I don't know, maybe it's just me being biased about cute anime girls or something. I'm not really into old anime dudes, you know? Yeah, I guess that's me. But anyway, but yeah. And then they kidnap the Führer's wife. I don't know why, but I'm sure it will be of use to somebody. So they'll figure it out. Well, I mean, they've already figured it out. I'll figure it out later. But yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much that. Really, really good episode. I hope that's not the end of Gluttony, but I could see that being the end of Gluttony. We'll have to see. But yeah, that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.